Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Atsi Putsi with me Putsi, and for today's video it's going to be another review slash wear test, and this time I'm going to test out a foundation primer. So I've seen Soft Dust Nails, again one of my favorite YouTuber ever. She have this video up on her channel, does primer really work? And I really want to try it myself because I just bought this primer. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. It's not a very cheap primer. This in particular is the travel size, and I bought this when it was on sale, so it's not that expensive. But because it is a high-end primer and it's highly raved about, I just want to see if this really has anything to do with your makeup looking better or amazing or last all day. Will this make a huge difference? Because if not, then what's the point on applying primer, especially when it's quite expensive. So the concept of it all, I highly inspired by Soft Dust Nails video. You can check out her video. I'm going to link that video down below. I'm not going to tell you the results, but I just want to see it myself if this primer in particular does work, or just primer in general. So if you are curious to know the results, does primer really works, then just keep on watching. So I already zoomed you in a little bit, and this is still, I haven't even opened this, so let's open this. This is the Smashbox, the original Photo Finish Smooth and Blur Primer. It's $36 for 1 fluid ounces or 30 milliliters, but I have this in travel size, which is $15 for 0.41 fluid ounces or 12 milliliters. It's a silicone-based primer, blurred imperfections, smooth skins, minimize pores and lines, and foundation will blend more easily with this foundation, supposedly. It will help your makeup look better and last longer, protect skin from environmental pollutants, damage, and stress. It also has antioxidants, vitamin A, E, and peptides, lightweight, oil-free, ideal for all skin types, cruelty-free, and vegan. I believe now they have a different packaging, like they revamped their packaging of all of their primer, which probably why this was on sale a few weeks back. So yeah, I'm very eager to try this because it's quite expensive for me. So the way I'm going to test this out is I'm going to apply this to half of my face, and half of my face I'm not going to apply any primer, and then on top of this I'm going to apply our regular makeup routine, foundation, bronzer, even setting spray and all of that. So the difference between my right side and my left side will only be this primer. So let's see, it looks like this. It looks like a clear gel. So I have nothing on my face right now, not even the skincare products, because I really want to test it out as like the base of everything. So yeah, I'm going to apply the primer on to the right side of my face. Oh yeah, it has that kind of smoothing, silky, silicone feeling to it. I've seen reviews of this primer, and I think this is also quite mattifying, or just hold off the oiliness of your skin throughout the day. If that's true, then I will really love this because I have a very oily skin. So this is what my face looks like. This side is the one with the primer, and by the look of it, I can tell that this looks a little bit smoother. I mean, I have a lot of large pores and I have a lot of acne scars, so it won't smooth out my skin completely, but by the look of it, it looks a little bit smoother, and it also of course feels smoother because it has this kind of silky feeling to it. It also looks a little bit more matte. I don't know if you can tell, but when I move my face around, I can see that this side has a lot more shine to it. On this side, I mean, it's not completely matte, but the shine on this side is a little bit more noticeable. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, in person it looks a little bit more matte and looks a little bit smoother, and it does fill in the pores a little bit. If you don't have a lot of acne scars, if you don't have a lot of like large pores, I think this will make your skin looks flawless. I think if you have oily skin, you will really like this because it does mattify your skin a little bit. So this is a good start. So I'm going to show you the foundation and concealer application just because it's like the base of everything, and I want you to be able to see how foundation and concealer works on top of the primer and on top of the side without the primer. We'll see if it has a difference or not, because on their website they said that this primer will make application of foundation just better and easier. So the foundation I'm going to use for today's video is this ColourPop No Filter foundation, and I'm in the shade medium 100. And the concealer I'm going to use is also from ColourPop just because I feel like this concealer and that foundation works better together. And this is the ColourPop No Filter concealer. And if you want to see my full review, my full thoughts of the entire ColourPop No Filter line, I already have a review on that up on my channel, and I'm going to link that video down below and also up here. So this is what my face looks like. Honestly, in terms of the application itself, it doesn't make a big difference between the two sides. They both blends up more or less the same way. One thing I noticed, yes, of course, this side looks tiny bit more matte than this side, but both sides looks quite similar. This foundation itself has a more natural matte finish. So yeah, in terms of how my skin looks like currently at the moment and the application and everything, it looks just about the same on both sides. And I have these dry patches right here. That's not the primer fault, it's just because my skin currently has a little bit more dry patches around my face in primer side than this side without the primer. I do have a lot of deep pitted acne scars. I have a lot of large pores. It doesn't make a huge difference in terms of how my pores looks like at the moment. They both looks very similar. In some places I do feel like this side looks a little bit smoother and the pores looks a little bit smaller, but in general they looks just about the same. But maybe around on top of my nose here, this looks a tiny bit smoother than this side because the pores on my nose on this side looks a bit larger than this side. But I do have a lot more acne scars on this area than this area, but the pores looks almost the same in this part where I don't have a lot of acne scars. But yeah, and now it's 7 past 12. I think the first time we applied the foundation and the primer it was around 11:45. But for now I'm going to finish up the rest of my face, and then I'm going to be back to show you how the foundation looks with powder, bronzer and everything. So this is what my face looks like after everything I put on my face, and I can say that everything looks almost exactly the same. Every application applies really nicely on both sides. So yeah, I haven't seen any big difference yet, but we'll see at the end of the day if the primer sides looks a lot better. By the way, I know my lips doesn't match my dress. I know, I'm so sorry, but yeah, I'm going to be back in a few hours. I'm back and now it's exactly 9 p.m. So this foundation has been on my face for 9 hours, maybe even 9.5 hours. And to be honest, this doesn't look the best. My face looks like a grease ball, and it's not looking very good. Don't mind the lipstick here on my chin. It always happens whenever I don't put on a super matte liquid lipstick. And I already take off my contact lens because it's nighttime and I just really want to take them off. But let's talk about my face situation here. To be honest, I don't see any difference between these two sides. They both look very oily, but I think it has something to do with the foundation. Maybe I just have to find a better foundation to pair with this particular primer, because we all know each primer can work differently with different foundation. But for this particular foundation, this primer really does nothing in my opinion, because they both look almost the same in terms of the oiliness, the bronzer, the highlight, the blush. They both look very much the same on both sides. I think my pores looks a tiny bit smaller on this side, but regardless, if you're not being too critical with this, they both looks almost the same. Like, I cannot tell any difference between the two, and I'm quite shocked because this is supposed to be a very good primer. It's from Smashbox. It's not cheap whatsoever. It's a high-end primer, and it does almost nothing for my face. It doesn't make my foundation last longer. It cannot hold off the oiliness of my skin. So yeah, I don't know. Should I believe in primer now, or should I just completely ignore it like James Charles did? But I'm going to keep on using this primer, maybe with different foundation, and see if it will work better with other foundation. But for now, if you ask me, should I believe in primer, I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I'm still 50-50 about it. But I'm surprised because a lot of people rave about this, and also Soft Nails do this kind of video as well. And I can see a huge difference between her primer side and the side without the primer on her videos. So I don't know if it's just because of my skin, or because of this primer, or because of this foundation. I really don't know. I'm confused. But I'm not going to give up on primer in general, because I already bought another primer. I'm going to test out the ColourPop All Star Primer and Setting Spray maybe in a couple of weeks. I'm curious to see if that can actually make a big difference with my foundation. But for now, for this particular wear test and review, for this particular combination right here, I will say primer just did not work for me at all. So that's my results. You can say that's the tea. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope it's helpful, or especially if you also have an oily skin like me, or if you have problems with a lot of acne scars and large pores. Maybe this video will give you some ideas. I mean, the result is not that great, but I still have a lot of fun creating this video, and I was genuinely curious to know the results, and now I got my answers. But for now, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video, and if you do like this video, or if you find this video somewhat helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and maybe also subscribe to my channel, because I don't have a lot of subscribers. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I can see you in my next video. Bye guys! Oh yeah, it has that. I forgot. I applied this to both sides of my face. What? Caesar. Why? I made that mistake again. What an amateur. Curious to know? Just keep on watching. What? No, I already said that.